let's go. You're something else.
Wow. That's a crazy smart kid.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a natural reaction. Yeah, I gotta meet this kid's parents.
Yeah, right?
Holy smokes.
Not even 6 yet.
He just explained the inner workings of a freaking jet.
5 years, 11 months old.
5 years old.
Like it was no...
Okay, so this is the ECAP, and it is, you know, I don't even know what he just said.
ECAS.
ECAS, whatever, dude. You know, if there's a plane going like this, it gives more power and blah, 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 blah.
I knew a lot of what he was saying. I took aerospace science in high school, which was a cool class.
Oh, that. That's badass.
Make sure I'm not on the Fair Pronunciation page.
That's probably a good idea. Amazing.
Did you already smoke?
Yes. We just started the YouTube stream to kind of...
Just pulled it up.
Yep. Build up some stuff. Let's see.
We are... Ha! 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 We're not smarter than a 5-year-old.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't mean to do that.
You think you're so smart? Can you spell sternocleidomastoid?
Probably.
Probably. I was a smart kid.
I'm actually really good at spelling.
Will it do it now?
No, it's not.
It didn't update?
I did an update on everything. It just, I guess this is the new thing.
That's its new thing.
Alright, we're going to sit here for a second, kind of let viewers join us.
Yeah, it's a little early in the morning, so we're just gonna relax and we're not gonna eat donuts of disapproval. We're just gonna nibble on a donut because it's early in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, for us.
Is that you? Okay.
I actually got up. The wife woke up at like 7, and so I could hear her putzing around. So I got up about 7:30. Not sure why. I do have a. I'm not really offended by it. Oh, you're gonna be offended. It's gonna be good. Oh,
Great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Well, those of you who are not watching this live, welcome to Take Offense.
Hey, welcome to Take Offense.
I'm Cody.
I'm Nick.
For those of you who are new to the show, we basically just ramble about random shit.
Yeah. The whole point of the show is don't take offense.
Take a stand.
Take a stand.
And if you take offense,
It's probably your conscience tapping you on the shoulder. There's an old saying, whatever pisses you off about the other guy is something about yourself that you don't like. So, you know, if you're yelling and screaming and this person's evil, well, look in a mirror, because that shit's probably bugging you too.
I was actually, speaking of that, I saw one yesterday. One of our fellow hayride actors showed me it. Somebody posted, "Gay guys make me puke," and then somebody commented, "Well, then stop deep throating them so hard."
Wow. Yep. You know, obviously your gag reflex is just way too strong for that length of dick.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Maybe like,
I have no gag reflex.
I
I'd be an awesome gay guy. If I was gay, I would be the best. I'd be the belle of the ball. I totally would.
At this point, Gaylord's wishing he was back on the hayride.
I don't know Gaylord. I don't remember him.
Gaylord was out there last couple years.
Was he the Navy guy?
Yeah.
The cook.
Yeah.
He was. What is the designation for cook?
Culinary specialist.
No, but it has. Everybody has CS.
Yeah, culinary
So
specialist. Yeah.
So he was a CS1.
Yeah. They changed it because they were mess specialists, MS,
MS.
and we called them microwave specialists.
Called him what?
Microwave specialists. Because all they did was reheat shit.
That's not true. Because my friend Moose was a culinary specialist. He was a CS1 on an aircraft carrier. And the guy was incredible.
Hey, Sammy.
What's up, Sammy? And Moose was funny because he'd make chili, and he'd be like, "Okay, I got to do math." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Okay, normally I start with 50 pounds of sugar, 500 pounds of beans, you know." And he'd go through all the stuff, and he'd have to do math and break it down. So he goes, "Okay, I'm only cooking for 10 people. Oh, you know, I gotta go from 5,000 to 10. You know?
Yeah.
And he'd have to break it down. He was really fun. But he was amazing. Oh my god! You give that guy ground beef and some seasonings and whatever he wanted to make, I'd eat. It was awesome.
He just reheat shit.
He just yeah. Technically, we're not supposed to be on until 10, but you know, I got here a little early. We were putzing around. The producer's out checking the air, so that's we used to my family is from New Orleans, and in New Orleans you have levees, and the levees keep the water from doing what Katrina did, which is flood everything. And so two of my uncles, when they would go out and smoke, they never said in front of the kids, "Hey, we're going to smoke." What they would say is, "Hey, we're going to go check the levee and make sure it's okay." And so checking the levee, checking the air. Euphemisms. It's a great word, euphemism.
So yeah, we just
But it's really close to euthanasia. Holy crap. Euphemism, euthanasia. It's pretty tight. I mean, those are U words. The root matters. Never took Latin, but I got in a huge fight with somebody because they looked at me and she goes, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm gruntled." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, disgruntled." "Oh, I'm gruntled." I said, "Oh, I'm gruntled." And she goes, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, you know, disgruntled is not gruntled, so obviously gruntled is just fine." And she was like, "I don't think it works that way." I said, "I think it works that way." So we got in a pretty, this was before Google, so we got in a pretty huge fight about that. And then, no, it wasn't. They actually had Google, but, you know, we didn't have cell phones, so we had to actually go home and look it up.
so is it a word?
It is. I was making crap up, and it turns out it's actually a word.
The reason for our title on the Facebook,
Yeah.
and go over to the YouTube. So subscribe to us on YouTube because eventually the Facebook's not going to be happening.
Yeah, we gotta go all YouTube eventually.
Yep. So go subscribe to us on YouTube, and you watch the videos live on there as well. But we were watching this video just before we came on of a boy who is 5 years and 11 months old, because that's what he told the captain. He was in the cockpit of a plane, and this kid was breaking shit down, talking about how to right the plane.
It started off, if you lose power in hydraulics,
Yeah.
how to recover and not die.
The kid was saying this, not the captain.
Right. The kid was explaining to the captain, and the captain's like, "Can I meet your parents?"
Yeah.
The whole time he's like, "I need to meet your parents." Obviously, your parents are like astrophysicists or something.
He was talking about stuff like you have to let the flaps down by gravity alone, and I was sitting there, I'm flashing back to aerospace science in 11th grade. 11th grade. And I'm like, man, this kid is right. I mean, he was talking about asymmetrical power and things like that. You know, if you have one engine start to go down, or your plane is leaning too far to the left, you have to reduce power on engine 1 and increase power on engine 2, and it'll write the plane, and I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
this kid's not even 6.
Dude, if something happened to the pilot, I would put this kid in the pilot
It's
seat.
Josh, not Dad. Sorry.
Oh, it's Josh?
Hey, Josh.
What's up, buddy? Surprised he's awake.
Yeah, you had a way longer drive than me.
He was out there with us last night, yeah.
Ooh.
Funny, we were walking out the car, and he's talking about that, getting pulled over with the makeup on. He's like, I gotta drive all the way to Newport News, so if I get pulled over, just be like, officer, I can explain.
No, what you do, if you want to get out of a ticket and you've got makeup on from a haunt, you go, I'm part of a drag show. And that dude will leave you alone. Because you don't mess with gay people. That's part of culture. Dude, did you watch the Academy Awards when Chris Rock hosted?
Oh, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
It's a couple of years ago.
No.
But essentially what happened was some dude won for, I think he was a composer. And he won. And he was saying, this is a great day for, gay composers. Like, that's a big thing. Well, like a rare thing. And Chris Rock had been dogging everybody. And at the end of this dude, after he said this is a big day for gay composers, Chris Rock went, nope, no jokes. I'm not getting in trouble. Hollywood's gay mafia would have taken it to him. Yeah, they will shut you down. There's a thing. It's called the gay mafia in Hollywood. And they're not like, well, they say they're not criminals, but it's definitely a political thing, and they will ruin your career.
They will show up, take off their pumps, and whoop some ass.
Aunt Frank will kick your ass.
On Tom.
On Tom.
It was on Tom.
Aunt Frank was
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. That was it. Yeah. Uncle Bob and Aunt Frank.
Yep. Who did this to you? Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah. Aunt Frank has killed me forever.
Oh, he's Harvey Feinstein. No.
Harvey Feinstein was his brother. Aunt Frank was the other guy. And they were both like special effects guys, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you gotta be careful, man. You don't. Apparently, gay people get a pass.
Yeah, Harvey Fierstein was so great. He was hilarious in everything. Was it Independence Day?
Yeah. Well,
oh my God, I gotta call my mother.
Yeah, that dude is typecast. He doesn't have a choice. What's he gonna do? Method act?
Right?
Come on.
You are a large, gravelly voiced gay man.
Yeah, he's like,
that's what we're gonna cast you
That's
as.
like, asking Clint Eastwood to, play something other than a thin, gravelly voiced, killer.
Yeah. Well, it was, what's his name? Damn it, I can't remember his name. The guy who played Otho in Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
He's another one that was kind of just.
He plays that character.
Yeah.
And
was it? I'm Assistant Bob in Demolition Man.
Not assistant. Yes.
Associate.
Associate.
Associate Bob.
Bond.
That was Bob.
Bond.
It was Bond.
Bond. I'm Associate Bond. I would love to help you during your transition into power. All right, Bond. That was Bob.
See?
I think you're right, because
See?
Bob, let's talk about the hair. Pick a color.
Yeah.
And the kimono, you look like a couch. Yeah.
Scott asked how was Hunt Club last night. It was a blast.
Yeah. We needed you.
Yeah, we could have used some.
Yeah.
A couple people last night, but
yeah,
it was a lot of fun though. It was a little rainy and drizzly at the beginning.
We thought it was going to be dead.
Yeah, and it wasn't. We went straight up to 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But no, it really picked up. The rain stopped probably about 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30ish.
Didn't it? Oh,
You kept hearing it because what you're hearing was the wind coming through the trees, making the rain fall in the tunnel.
I thought the actual rain stopped more like 6:45, 7 o'clock, but I guess it didn't.
Maybe close to. It may be in there somewhere.
But
I
yeah,
mean, where I am, it's all trees, so I'm getting
pelted.
Yeah, the whole time. Good gust of wind comes through, and it's like a storm cloud opened up above me.
He said he's been dating chicks.
No, don't lie.
Who's been dating chicks?
Scott.
Scott.
I guess that's why he wasn't there last night.
Ask him, has he been talking to Jessica?
He can hear you.
Say it louder.
Have you been talking to Jessica?
Scott, are you talking to Jessica?
He said Amy and I will return this week.
Ah, very good.
Amy's his daughter.
Liz is here.
Hi, Liz. All right. But yeah, no, it was we had a blast last night. We were rained out Friday night, which always sucks.
I slept hard.
I came home and played some Assassin because I was seriously. For those of you who know where Hunt Club is, I was on the corner of Princess Anne and Dam Neck, getting ready to turn left onto Dam Neck, when I got the message that hey, we're closed. So I just made the U-turn right there and came back home. And I came home and there was some stuff going on at Ferry. I had the boys with me, and actually Amanda was leaving by the time I got home, so she took two of the boys with her, and I sat down to play some PlayStation for a couple hours, and then the Astros game came on, and then I get a text saying, "Hey, Waverly says get your ass up here." So I was like, "Yeah, give me a little bit," and so I went up to Ferry for a little bit for their Friday the 13th thing, and actually I get there and I pull into the parking lot, and the Astros are in the middle of a rally because I'm listening to it on the radio now. So I get a call like a half hour later. Hey, where you at? I'm kind of worried. And I'm like, I'm sitting in the parking lot because the Astros are in the middle of a rally and I'm listening to it.
And I can't leave.
Yeah.
If I stop listening, they'll lose.
No, it's not that.
Fuck yeah, it is. Yeah. I come from
Are you one of those guys?
Dude, I have a friend of mine.
Our cool neighbor Ashley just joined.
Hi, Ashley.
I have our cool neighbor, Ashley.
Yeah.
Actually is how it was defined.
Yeah, I'll explain Ashley in a second.
So I have a friend of mine. They were watching a playoff game, and the Flyers scored when she went in the bathroom. So she couldn't come out of the bathroom till the end of the game.
This is the problem with hockey.
It's not
You have people like that watch it.
Talk about hockey. How did fucking Hitchcock get to be the coach of the Stars again?
I thought he was dead.
Dude, we got. I'm shocked that somebody hasn't.
He died a long time ago.
Oh, he did. He did. They just got his fat ass animated with animatronics.
Okay.
Can't believe they brought Hitchcock back.
Woodcock. Woodcock. Is that you again, Woodcock?
Oh,
Sorry, my
terrible.
favorite Western of all time.
Woodcock.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. The guy in the train, Woodcock.
It's been so long.
Such a good movie.
But it's such a good movie.
All right, so Ashley, shut up, Scott. Nobody cares.
I care, Scott.
He said hockey is awesome.
Hockey is awesome.
So Ashley, Amanda says she's our cool neighbor. To explain how Amanda and I got married, it's kind of funny. We never really, it wasn't really a plan for us. It was just a piece of paper to us. We'd already had 2 kids together. It was no big deal. And so one day I'm home sick. And she's like, well, since you're home, do you want to go ahead and get the marriage license? We can go run up and get the marriage license real quick. I'm like, okay. So she calls up there.
NyQuil makes you pliable.
Right. I wasn't worried about it. No big deal. But we had 2 kids already. I wasn't going anywhere. So she calls up there to see what we need, and they're like, well, $60 and you can just get married now. Okay. So we needed a witness.
Oh, we thought we did.
We thought we needed a witness, yeah. So we grabbed Ashley from upstairs, who was our babysitter. And so it was her and our 2 kids and us and a woman in a dashiki who was marrying us on the steps of the Portsmouth courthouse. And that's how it happened.
Nice.
And then, told her parents who were not happy about it.
Just because it wasn't a
Wedding.
Wedding. Save the
nobody
money.
was there.
Have a party.
We never even did.
I mean, hell, that's the route we were going from the beginning.
Our wedding actually didn't cost us a lot as far as the wedding itself. my dad's former military. So we got the Chapel of the Centurion on Fort Monroe, which didn't cost us anything. The preacher, I don't think cost us anything. I don't remember paying him anything. And then we paid for a big party. And so all we really paid for is a big party.
It's a gorgeous day, and honestly, if I ever get married again, that's how I'm going to do it. It was a nice day. It was a really nice day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because like I said, from the beginning of how we met and everything, hell, this will date us a little bit, how long we've been together. We met on Yahoo Personals.
Ooh. Yahoo Personal.
Yahoo Personals.
Was that really a thing?
Yes, it was the original Craigslist.
I think I got married before Yahoo Personals.
Now, as a matter of fact, when Yahoo Personals first came out, it was completely 100% free.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was like hookup city.
Yeah.
You wanted to get laid, you put out an ad on Yahoo Personals. You were going to get laid. Well, after a while, they started charging you to do Yahoo Personals. So the laid factor was reduced a little bit. So
sure.
I had a Yahoo Personal ad, and I think at that point it was still free for females, but in order for males to reply, they had to have a paid account.
No.
So you had a free account from Chris or something for like a month, and that's when you replied to me.
Yeah.
Because I had completely
So
forgotten.
he struck while the iron was hot.
I had completely forgotten I had a Yahoo Personal profile.
Just to get an email.
And then I got an email from this dude that's like 5'6", and I'm like, man, what the fuck? He seems cool, but he's short. I almost didn't meet him because of that.
Cody actually
He's bigger in person.
reins in his short guy thing. He doesn't really have too much of a short guy thing. Every now and then it flares up, and he like tries to get taller, but for the most part it doesn't matter.
Well, it got me last night. I jumped up on a wagon last night, and it was one of those where I didn't jump up. Actually, I snuck up on the wagon behind somebody, and this dude looks up and goes, "Holy crap, that's a big guy."
He thought you were just standing there?
Yeah.
That's awesome. My favorite part of being tall in where I am is I can plant my hand on the rail and reach almost to the middle of the wagon. And people don't like that.
Scott was asking about UFC. Dude, October, not going to happen.
Yeah. Now, November 4th is George St. Pierre and Michael Bisping. And
wow. I hope it's a double knockout because I hate both of them.
Yep. And the little strawweight Jipchenko freaking machine who destroys everybody.
Oh, the
she's fighting.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
She's a badass. The Polish chick.
The Polish chick.
She is a badass, man.
Dude, she.
Oh my god.
He's meaning the local event.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm not going to the local event, dude.
Not for that price.
The cheapest tickets were $100.
Yeah.
I found an inn for $100, and I'm not gonna buy $200 worth of tickets just for nosebleed seats. It's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna have more fun going to watch it somewhere.
Nobody else is going. Josh said he's not going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time at MMA events as the ringside doc, and when you're ringside, yeah, okay, I'll go. But I've also been 15 feet from the ring at a table, just 15 feet, and you have no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, down there it's harder. I mean, if you're up in the seats.
You got no idea what's going on.
No, you do. When I last time I went and saw Blair fight, it was fine. I could see everything going on. Plus, they got the cameras, on the big screen.
Yeah, so you're watching.
So when you're
the
farther in the
Jumbotron,
seats, you can see this jumbotron. Yeah,
which is like, whoa, I don't know, watching TV.
Yeah, right. But no, I've been ringside too. I was there for was it Antoine Britt versus CT Turner or whatever his name was that week, because it was like his name's Robert Turner, his name's CT Turner. He had like 3 different Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Josh said if you're off the floor, you can't see anything.
That's a lie.
It's not. You can see. I mean, you can see that there are 2 little G.I. Joe looking guys in a cage. If you take G.I. Joe figures, the new ones, not the old ones, and because the old GI Joe was a foot tall.
So GSP no go or yes?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's November 4th, so we'll be done.
I'll be well rested because I'm taking off November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from work.
Josh says he went to the UFC in Atlanta and had to watch the TV screens.
Yeah.
I was talking to the wife, and it was so funny because I was like, yeah, maybe I'll take a day off when it's right in the middle of the really busy season at Hunt Club. And my wife looked at me and goes, so you're going to take a day off your real job to
well,
and you can't really say anything because my real job, I can make in a day what I get paid at Hunt Club Farms for the entire season.
Well, yeah,
so
but
that's kind of hard.
It's also, you're a one-man show.
I'm a one-man
You
show.
don't have vacation pay.
I do not.
Yeah.
So
it's like me. I
you have leave.
I build up my vacation time so I have time at the end of Hunt Club.
Right.
What days are Nick and Cody working during the week?
Every day but Wednesday.
Yeah, Or do you mean our regular jobs or Hunt Club?
My regular job, I do Monday through Saturday.
Hunt Club. This week, Hunt Club is Wednesday through Sunday. You're not going to be there Wednesday. I will be there Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah. Thursday, I can leave my office and be there by 6:30.
Yeah.
So in 15 minutes, I can throw my stuff on and get painted up. He's doing a different paint scheme for me, so it's not very detailed. I'm doing essentially blackface from the 20s with some highlights. So
I did my own last night. Most of it. I had a.
Did you airbrush at all?
I did my eye. I had my eyes airbrushed and a couple little highlights, but other than that, I did just basically. I used acrylic this time, and God, acrylic is so awesome.
Nice.
Try one night Thursday for volunteer.
Dude, you can volunteer.
Yeah.
We'd love you to volunteer. It would be awesome. The girls, in fact, the girls went through last night, my daughters, and they've gone through a couple of years, and they were like, there were not as many volunteers. They said you could tell there weren't as many volunteers.
And I think part of that was the rain.
Yeah.
I mean, volunteer, paid actors, we want to be out there, we get paid. Volunteers kind of like, I'm not going to hang out in the rain.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
But I will say this, man. I did see online.
So that's why my fat ass stayed home.
I will say I saw online. I want to say it was Friday that we were, or Saturday morning somewhere in there, that we are the #1 reviewed haunt in southeastern Virginia right now. We are kicking some major ass. We have a great story. We have a cohesive story. It's working out. I can tell you I'm not going to name any names here because I have talked shit about them in the past on another show, or at least one of their actors. But there's another haunt in the area that charges you $20 for a 5-minute walkthrough.
How many times you get to go through?
No, that's it. 5-minute walkthrough.
Scott's asking if Nick's girls get to volunteer at any time.
What do you mean, nice girls? Nick's girls. Nick's girls. He's asking about. Yeah, he just changed it. He said, "Oops,
I
Nick's."
said Nick's girls.
Oh, I thought you said nice.
No.
He's asking if your girls.
Figured it out. They will at some point. But right now, the thing about it with my my girls is they can't be where I am because I'm in an enclosed space and they can't be around.
You have to be
me.
18 to be in the tunnel.
Yeah, you have to be 18 to be. I guess that's what Cody just said.
Yes, it is.
But I would prefer maybe next year if I'm in a place that's not in the tunnel. It's better because then I can be around them and keep an eye on them.
And they could always hang out with me.
They could.
Your kids would make great vampires. We wouldn't even have to pale them out.
You just put like blue lines like veining on them. They'd freaking kill.
Yeah.
And they can scream. I've heard them. Oh my god. When they irritate me, I poke them until they melt down, so they learn how to deal with their anger issues because they're redheads. And if I'm poking them and they hit a good meltdown, they'll scream.
Scott, he said, could they go if they hang out or if they hang near Amy and I? It depends. I think I think our management would probably be more comfortable if they hung with me. And it's nothing on you. It's just they know me. They know I can wrangle in a crew if I need to. Especially the kids. I've been in areas where I've had. That's where they shoved all the volunteers one year. So they know I can handle these guys. But I mean that's more the thing. It's just, you know, they know who's up. I'm gonna do that with my girls, not just poke them. Ashley. But yeah. And, you know, because you're really supposed to, the kids are really supposed to be with a parent, and because of the fact that he's in the tunnel, and if you're not in my area, if you and Amy are somewhere else, I'll be in the closest area to the tunnel. I'm right before it, so it'd be easy to go run to Dad if they need to, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talking about the tunnel.
So it'd be either there or the graveyard is where his girls would be.
Ashley had a funny situation last night. She whipped her kids' asses in Mario Kart. And she's like, should I at least feel bad that I whipped their asses in Mario Kart? So my comment to that was, no, it builds character.
That's right. Do I let you guys win at anything?
No.
There you go.
Don't. Yeah. This whole.
Don't let your kids win.
I had a cousin, and he had the old Nintendo with the Game Genie. So he would give himself all the codes, and so we were playing this giant robot battle game, and he had this freaking gold robot with, you know, shields and all kinds of stuff. Well, I noticed the shields only extended down to the knee, so I started kicking him in the foot. That's all I did. I didn't throw punches because there was a shield in front of me, so I just kicked him in the foot, kicked him in the foot, kicked him in the foot. His robot died. He was less than happy. He was so mad. It was brutal. My grandmother proceeds to turn on me and give me the riot act. Read me the riot act. I'm like, what?
He's the one cheating.
He's cheating. I'm not even cheating. I'm just playing.
You know what? I'm
pushing one button. Kick.
I never got the Game Genie. I didn't want it. I mean, no, there's some games where I want codes on. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, because I play Grand Theft Auto just to have fun with it. So I get the codes where I have like unlimited weapons, unlimited health, and just go and just start blasting people. Because that's what the fun thing is about Grand Theft Auto.
Sure. It's like that one guy who played Grand Theft Auto and was shocked that his character got arrested because he wasn't playing a black character. Oh, we talked about this last week.
No, we didn't.
I'm repeating myself.
No, we didn't. I didn't hear anything about that.
You didn't hear anything about that? The guy, or his character got shot. His character got shot in Grand Theft Auto, and he goes, "But I'm not playing a black guy."
But if you were playing with Trevor, Trevor deserves to die.
And Will. Fuck Will, man. Will causes all kinds of problems.
Fucking Will.
Fucking Will, dude. On the hayride, Will is like the enemy. Because, you know, frickin' the vampires eat Will. Will release the ancient evil. God damn it.
No, Blake did that.
Well, Blake is Will.
Oh, is he? Oh, you named Blake Will.
We've started calling Blake Will.
Because we actually have a Will on the hayride. And
we do. And Will's cool. We look at Will and we're like, "No, Will, you're awesome." However, that other Will, he's a piece of shit. And, oh, dude, we were in the tunnel. Things escalate quickly. Let me tell you how quickly things escalate. So, in the tunnel, 3 dudes, 1 young lady. We have let go of all pretense about anything about worrying about politically correct. There's a guy named Al Snow.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the Al Snow entrance song.
What does everybody want?
What does everybody want?
Head.
Well,
he carried a mannequin head with him out to the ring. So, in the mannequin head's name was
Head.
Head. So his entrance was, what does everybody want? Head. So yeah.
So we're doing something in the tunnel, and I'm not even sure what it was anymore. And for some reason, I yell out, "What does everybody want?" And somebody said something. Somebody said something else. And the only young lady in the tunnel goes, "Dick." And instantly, we all froze like woodland creatures. Like, That escalated really fast. In fact, that was. And we're all just
No. See, you don't know her parents. I've known her parents for 10 years. Trust me, that wasn't escalating quickly.
That was 0 to Dick in done, and it was a Dick night last night. We were talking about something else, and we were talking, and Will, the guy he's talking about on the detective stage,
Real Will
can really yell.
Yes,
Will can yell.
He's a loud dude.
In fact, I wear earplugs in the tunnel because it's so loud that I'm half deaf by the next morning. So I wear earplugs, and I have no problem hearing everything. I can hear Will clearly through the earplugs. So at some point I'm like, God damn, how does Will yell like that every night? Somebody goes, yeah, it sounds like somebody's shoving a dick in his ass.
Jesus Christ. She can't be a mad girl for knowing what she... You can't be mad at a girl for knowing what she wants.
Dude, she wants dick. And
Stop it! Stop it! Stop! I've known this girl since she was 8 years old.
Yep.
Stop it!
And in the last 11 years, she's developed this incredible lust and desire for
Shut
dick.
the fuck up!
She wants the dick. That's all there is to it. We actually had the conversation
Shannon and Joe, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry for this guy.
Well, we actually had the conversation last night, and she was like, and I told her, I'm totally telling Cody about this, and I'm going to watch his head explode. It's going to be epic. Oh, yeah.
See, the thing about Amanda Winteringham, if Cody and I ever created a daughter, she would
probably be
it. Yeah, absolutely.
She's a mechanic.
Dude, I love Amanda. She's fantastic.
She's a mechanic. Up until recently, she drove a Jeep, and the Jeep's license plate was Tomater. As in Tomater from Cars.
Tomater? Oh, very funny.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I missed it.
She's an awesome kid. Love her to death.
She's a me.
Well,
you know what? You also got to remember, in the tunnel, we spend a lot of time talking about what goes in and out of Amanda's box. Because there's...
I'm going to go get more coffee.
There's an area of the tunnel...
That was totally a donut at disapproval moment.
No. Let him explain what actually the Amanda's box is.
So Amanda's box is where her stage is. There are these two little boxes, and there's a little gap in between these two little boxes. And one of the scare actors, DJ, slides through her box onto the wagon when nobody's looking. Usually he waits for somebody to get their attention drawn somewhere else, and he slides onto the wagon and proceeds just to scare the shit out of people. I personally love it when DJ's on the wagon because people just ignore me, and all of a sudden I can just lean in and don't have to say a word, and they're screaming their butts off. Oh, we had the best one last night. It was like delayed reaction. I leaned in, I looked at this young lady, she turned, she looked at me, she looked back at her friend, and then she realized what she saw and started screaming. And at that point, I could not stop laughing, so I just stepped back and retired from the wagon because I was done. Oh, so much fun. But, you know, I guess, you know, you gotta figure. People going in and out of Amanda's box all night. She wants something that can satisfy her. In fact, Jack was saying that he spent a lot of time in Amanda's box. It's full of all kinds of useful tools. She's a mechanic. Jack was her boss at one point. It's a locker room. The tunnel is a locker room.
the whole hayride's a locker room.
The whole hair, yeah, but
Oh my
dude,
god.
The tunnel we have reached. Oh my god.
You don't have Mel.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah.
He comes and hangs out with us.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Because he loves us. Because we're freaking the hayride locker room. Yep, he does his little...
So that's where he is.
Yeah, he does his little stir the coffee with his dick dance. And he goes, yeah, this move's called stirring the coffee. And he's doing this little gyration.
Yeah, he needs to stop doing that shit and drink water.
I was on him all last night about drinking water.
Talon has joined.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
That's Jacob.
Is Jacob on too?
No.
Oh. Okay, Talon, do not take... Actually, do take dance lessons from Mel.
No.
He's really good.
No.
Oh, yeah. He does the stir the coffee. And
he can't waltz for shit. He tried it last night. He's terrible.
Talon can't waltz, or
no,
Mel can't waltz?
Mel.
Oh, I can teach you how to waltz. That's easy. I got the white boy dancing down. I took actually some ballroom classes with my ex. It was fun. Learned how to foxtrot.
I got asked to be a choreographer last night.
I can tango a little bit. Choreographing what?
Girl booty shake.
No. For a swing show.
Oh.
Like that inspired era. Yeah, got asked to be a choreographer and a singer and a comedian in the show. So we'll see what happens. For our good friend Eric Sabota.
Yeah. He's
like, how's your comic timing? I'm like, have you seen me out here?
He's all right.
Yes, Mel would make it sexual, Talon. That's because that's Mel. Mel makes everything sexual. Now, here's
as
the thing.
Opposed to.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing. So, he asked me about my comedic timing. So I said, I say the same thing to you. Ask me what the secret of comedy is.
What's the secret of
timing?
Comedy? Yes. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Moo.
cow. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, we have gone off the rails.
Well,
Situation normal.
Situation normal.
Yep.
Dick.
Anyways.
What do you want?
No, you're talking about wrestling. It's kind of funny because up where I'm at on my stage, I have a light shining up on me, and I keep my back to the audience until I do my reveal turnaround thing, and so one day I get up there and I put my arms straight out like this, and this was the first weekend, and so Will was out there with us. Will, he hadn't gone to the detective stage yet, so he's out there with us, and I went like this and put my arms straight out like this, and I went, break the walls down.
Ashley said that was her favorite knock knock joke ever.
That's
Scott tells us that this is a great show to enjoy while on the crapper.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying your shit.
Laughing helps the peristalsis process, so that's wonderful.
Scott
says he remembers the shadow.
Yeah, I cast a pretty big shadow up there, man. It's I'm up there and I put my arms out like this. I'm like, holy crap, my arms look huge. Yeah. Then I look in the shadow and I'm like, holy crap. And they aren't, but in the shadow, my ears look massive.
They're totally proportionate to his head, but in shadows they look really
in
weird.
the shadows, they look like, I look like Will Smith up there. Taxi driving down the road with the doors open. Yeah. I've been done seeing about everything. Some of the most racist characters in cartoon history.
We were actually talking about Woody Woodpecker because it was Dick and Pecker, and that's just where you go.
Naturally.
In the tunnel, yeah. And they were like, Woody Woodpecker, and I'm like, oh yeah, brutal cartoon. There's nothing politically correct about Woody Woodpecker. In fact, in the 30s or whenever that guy, the 30s or 40s, whenever that character was created, of course they called him Woodpecker. Woody the Woodpecker. They were totally conscious of that shit. And they did it on purpose. Because they were all repressed and shit. If they just get it out of their system. What do you want, Dick? Right, okay.
Okay.
I'm still floored that I'm not smarter than a 5-year-old.
No. So those of you watching right now, let me push this out there again. Here soon, we will be switching straight to YouTube. Only YouTube. No more Facebook. So make sure you go to the YouTube and subscribe. That way you can see when we're doing the live videos. I mean, when we're going to do them. It's the same time every week unless we have something special going on.
I pinned it.
Yeah, it's pinned to the top. The link is pinned to the top.
It's scary.
The comment sections.
I'm a little afraid.
Why?
Of just going to YouTube.
Why?
Because I don't know that many people just watch YouTube. Has everybody gone over to YouTube?
We only have 12 subscribers.
Yes.
No. Yeah, we need you guys to get over to YouTube.
And subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Going straight YouTube.
We'll make announcements before we do that.
Well, considering we used to do this without an audience.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We used to do this just for kicks and giggles.
Yep.
So, it's not going to change.
Hit the bell.
If you hit the bell, then they'll get a notification. Post notification.
Oh, the bell lets them know when you go live.
Post notification.
Okay.
We need the 14-year-old to explain YouTube to us. That's how it works.
Yep. I know you're not turning that TV on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways. The 12-year-old.
The 12-year-old.
What?
Getting the hammer dropped on him.
He's about to get more than that. Go over there and freaking Macho Man elbow drop his ass.
Right off the coffee table.
Yep.
Alright, well, we're going to take a break. Oh, yeah! We're going to take a break.
We are?
And,
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are.
Well, he decided we're going to take a break, so I guess we're going to take a break.
And we are going to move on from here. Oh, we have a thing.
Okay, watch your hand. Watch your hand. Watch your hand. You just knocked my phone over.
I did.
Dick.
Okay, Ashley's crying over the 14, and Scott says he's down 35 pounds.
Good job, Scott.
Okay.
The bell icon.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be 10% smarter than the object you're working with.
Yes,
I mean, a smartphone is like really smart.
Hit the bell.
There.
Okay.
That'll
This
work.
is switching over to YouTube.
We're not switching over to YouTube today.
I know. I mean, I said Sunday.
We need elevator music.
I was thinking about like putting Intermission by Offspring on repeat.
This is one.
Did you move my stuff?
I did not.
Oh, on the floor.
Or just play some Jeopardy music. Two donuts.
Yeah, just hit the up picture. Go watch tomorrow. Go watch TV tomorrow.
Oh dear.
What?
We're out of coffee.
No, we're not.
More can always be made. Make a pot. Nope. Go. I'm going to move this now.
I'll make another one at work and actually invert it so it'll read correctly if you want.
What?
This
Oh. Oh, yeah. All right. We are back.
And we have the codes.
Public service announcement.
Don't be a dick.
There you go. Oh, yeah. How about them Stros, baby?
The Astros.
The Astros are up 2-0 on the Yankees. Justin Verlander last night pitched 9 whole innings and had 13 strikeouts. That man is amazing. The game before that, Dallas Keuchel got 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. And it was the most postseason strikeouts by an Astros pitcher since 1986, Nolan Ryan.
I remember Nolan Ryan.
Oh, yeah. The Express, baby.
Express.
Nolan Ryan was amazing.
And he pitched for a long time.
He did.
He had a long career.
He did. He pitched for the Mets, Rangers, and Astros. Yep. The Express, man. That guy, he would. I don't even know how many no-hitters he had. That guy was amazing. He really was. And that baseball was different back then. It was a different time. You know, any sport, all the sports, you know, have changed in the last 15, 20 years. You know, football, they're trying to, you know, they're trying. I mean, I understand the whole concussion thing and CTE and all that. But it's a violent sport, and you know what you're getting into. You know you're in a violent sport. You know you can get hurt. You know you can cause permanent damage.
It's only when you're kids that it's a problem.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Pee Wee football numbers are declining because of that. Because of concussions.
Well, that and parents just don't participate like they used to.
Yeah, it's another thing. Parents don't participate much anymore. You know, when I was doing the robotics thing, I was the only volunteer. There's the first year I didn't volunteer, I got called in because no other parents volunteered. I didn't even have a kid in it. And they called me and said, hey, can you come help, please? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, get out there and, if you can, just volunteer some of your time to help your kids out. You know, when Jake played football, I was an assistant coach.
By the way, if 2016 was the year of celebrities kicking off, 2017 is the year of holy shit, Mother Nature hates us.
Yeah.
There have been some incredible hurricanes, and California is getting jacked up. For those of you not in California, apparently Northern California is just on fire.
Yeah.
And just burning. Like, I have a friend of mine in San Francisco, and he sends us pictures of him with, like, a mask on going to work because the air quality is so bad.
It's raining ash.
Yeah. Yeah, so sending out good vibes to those people out there, because I mean, whole neighborhoods are getting wiped out. It's
Charles Schultz's house is completely gone.
Charles Schultz's house is gone. Wow.
Charles Schultz, for those of you who don't know, was the creator of Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and all them. Damn.
His widow still lived in the house.
Dang.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bibby.
Yeah, so, wow, that just totally took it down, no? But yeah, think about those people out in
taking
California.
pictures
Man,
of
you guys-
Disneyland and it looks post-apocalyptic in the background.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Flames and just.
The sky's orange.
You know who's Rob Zombie's house used to belong to?
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to remember. It's really kind of funny. Let me see if I can.
Well, I know he owns the Munsters car. He actually had it in the video for Dragula. He had it in the Dragula video. But you know, that's Rob Zombie. I mean, it's, you know. While you're looking up that, speaking of horror, because Rob Zombie's a horror master. We watched a movie. Actually, before I get to that, everybody say happy belated birthday to our producer Amanda. Her birthday was Wednesday. So I made pork fried rice and green beans. Fresh green beans with some ginger and garlic in them. And we watched a movie. We watched Lights Out, which I know Doc isn't going to watch because he's a puss. But Lights Out, if you haven't seen that yet, it's on HBO On Demand right now. Killer flick. Really, really enjoyed it. It's got an original concept to it. Really well shot. And really good writing to it. And what I loved about it more is, you know, a lot of time in horror movies you get, you know, a ton of setup time. Just, you know, they stop in the middle of the movie to tell the story. And what was great about this movie was telling the story caused action. You know, it was part of it. It was part of the action. And it was 80 minutes long, and it, you know, there wasn't really any downtime to it. Just really, really, really well done. And on top of that, actually another one that Amanda watched this week, and then she's like, "You need to watch it," because I had never seen it. Was Victor Frankenstein? Have you seen that? Mm-hmm. It's got James McAvoy in it, who was the young Professor X.
Oh! I've heard about that.
He plays Victor Frankenstein, and then Igor is played by Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. It's also got Charles Dance in it. It's a completely different take on Frankenstein. The monster is not the focus at all. And what I love about it is it's shot very much like Sherlock. Like the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, where Igor is like really super smart.
Yes, he studies doctor stuff.
Yeah, and because he worked in a circus, and he also became like the circus's doctor. But what I love about the way it was done is like Sherlock, where they visualize what's going on in the person's head. You know, what they're thinking, and you're seeing the pictures go by of what they're putting together in their head. So yeah, I thought that was really well done. Really, really good flick. And on that same note, another show now, a new show that does that, is The Good Doctor. Which is, I can't remember the kid's name, but he played Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and he was August Rush. Which is a great flick, especially if you dig music and you want to see Robin Williams play a complete asshole. It's a really, really good movie. But The Good Doctor is about this kid he's a doctor, and he's going to do his surgical residency, and he's autistic. And it's an extreme autism. It really is. He's very, very socially awkward. He has no bedside manner whatsoever. He's very blunt. You know, he's a very blunt.
I can't figure
He doesn't know how to lie.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to lie to people. He doesn't understand sarcasm. He actually asked at one point, he's like, "What's the point of being sarcastic?" He's like, "Isn't it just lying?" So, and there was the president of the hospital wanted to bring him in. He's known him since he was 14, and he knows this kid's mind and how he works. And he's a genius. He really is when it comes to surgical. He's a genius. He can look at someone and go, no, 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 you're wrong. This is what the problem is. It's this right here. And just sees the littlest details that can save someone's life. And so he goes in, and a lot of people didn't want him there. The surgical, the guy who runs the surgical team really doesn't want him there. And it's funny because he brings him in for his first surgery to be on the team, and he's basically like, yeah, you're going to do suction because that's what you're going to do as long as you're on my team. And the guy looks at him and goes, you know, you're very arrogant. Does that help you as a doctor? Does it hurt you as a person? Wow. You know, this guy is like one of the top surgeons in the country, and he's just looking at him like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You know?
His name is Freddie Highmore.
Freddie Highmore? Freddie Highmore is the kid's name, yeah. And okay. We're about 2.5 episodes in, and I'm already calling for an Emmy. He is that good. To take from one of the greatest cinematic achievements of all time, Tropic Thunder, he didn't go full retard. He never go full retard. No, but he's playing the character very well. He's got the awkwardness down completely, and I mean, his lack of facial expression is impressive, because he's just, you know, straight across the board. Everything is as it is, and that's how his mind
Super
works.
literal.
Yes.
Super
yes.
literal. They actually have I can't remember what his name was, but he's one of the great mathematicians of our age, and they suspected he had a form of Asperger's because he was so literal that most people try to put things in a context, and they try to like move themselves around the situation and figure out how the situation applies. And by being so super literal, this guy was able to go, nah, you're bringing emotion into the mathematics.
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of weird, but we do it without thinking about it. Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, that's where this kid is. It's not, his emotion is in it to the fact that the reason he wanted to become a surgeon. He had a fucked up home life. His parents were constantly fighting. His dad was an asshole. Complete and total, just, at one point he's sitting there crying and he's holding his rabbit. He has a rabbit. He's like, you know, they do flashbacks showing him as a kid. And he's holding his rabbit, and his dad's yelling at him and grabs the rabbit and throws it into a wall. So then his little brother, who is his protector, really, because he gets beat up, he gets bullied. There's a scene where there's like 6 kids beating the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. You know, and he, and then him and his brother go off and they're doing like they run away. Okay. And he takes them to this little train graveyard is what it looked like, and his brother fell off the train, off the top of one of them. Oh. So when they ask him, why do you want to be a surgeon? Because the board is all against him being there, except for just the president. They're just like, why do we need a kid with autism? You know, that's just going to be a liability. And they ask him, you know, in the interview, they're like, you know, why do you want to be a surgeon? He goes, when I was a kid, I watched my rabbit go to heaven in front of my eyes. And then I watched my brother went to heaven right before my eyes. And I couldn't help him. I want to save people's lives. Yeah. And they're just like, I mean, it was, but you know, and you see him he doesn't, his facial expression doesn't change. Yeah. But the tears are streaming. And it's just like, man, this kid is awesome as an actor. And that, you know, a lot of the times you see it in Hollywood quite often where a child actor, once they hit adulthood, it just goes away. They're just not as good. Macaulay Culkin. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, he's actually gotten better. There was one he did a couple years ago.
Did he just die?
No.
Who died?
I don't know. Not Macaulay.
I thought he died
He
of
did.
heroin.
No. He did a video a couple years ago where he reprised his role as Kevin McAllister, but as Kevin McAllister now as an adult, and he's fucked in the head because all the shit that happened to him when he was a kid.
Because he kept getting
And
abandoned.
it was fucking genius. It was really good, and it was
Macaulay Culkin.
MacauleyCulkin. But it was so good that Daniel Stern did a video himself as his character from Home Alone, talking about how this kid ruined their lives, and and then he's like, "Is somebody in the house? Is somebody in my house?" And then it's you! Cock, cock, cock. You hear the gunshots. It's fucking great. But yeah, no. If you could watch the Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister again, it was really good. But no, I mean, like you see these child actors, and you look up.
Not dead. Weird.
You look up like their IMDb pages. Maybe it was Kieran. Is Kieran Culkin still alive?
No, I thought Macaulay Culkin died. I
No.
swear to God.
No. He's had a lot of hoaxes. He's had a lot of because he was looking rough there for a while.
He was heroin, right?
Yeah, he was looking really bad there for a while. Probably was hair. I don't think there was any official thing to it. But
okay.
But no, but you see, like you look at these kids' IMDb pages sometimes, and they're gone.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't do anything after being a kid.
My favorite part of that whole thing is, do you remember Weird Science? The both of those guys turned into studs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I mean.
Oh, the '80s kids, man. Look at Anthony Michael Hall.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He was one of them.
Anthony Michael Hall is a freaking stud now, and the guy who was his little friend who never did anything ever again in movies is now a PhD in medieval history and a knight in the SCA, and he might even be a duke in the SCA. But he essentially, in the SCA, you essentially don't. It's not reenacting with the fighting. You put on armor and you fight, and you try to beat the crap out of each other.
The only difference is you're using rattan swords. You're not using real swords.
Yeah, but the live steel guys don't hit anywhere near as hard as we do.
Yeah.
You know, and I say we do. I actually don't play anymore. I've still got my armor, but I haven't armored up in years. But you're swinging for the fences. You want the guy. The way the rules state is, you call a good shot a telling blow, and the way they define a telling blow is, you feel like if this was a real weapon, you would be disinclined to continue. In other words, you go, "Ow, I'm done. That would have killed me, or at least disabled me." And yeah, so that guy's awesome. I actually
I've watched these guys go at it, man. They go hard.
I saw a film of him, and you know, he's standing in front of the group and he's lecturing, and it's like he's who Indiana Jones wanted to be, because you know Indiana Jones was a archaeology professor. This guy's a history professor, and he's just a stud. You can tell the young ladies in his lecture are like, "I want extra credit. Can I get extra credit?"
The closest thing we have to a real life Indiana Jones is probably Josh Gates. Josh Gates is awesome. He has a degree in archaeology.
He does, and he's a very nice man. And the closest thing to Indiana Jones, if he was a comedian.
Josh, that's what I love.
Well, you know, then you're kind of right. Then
that
is kind of Josh Gates.
Yeah, Josh, because he is.
But Josh Gates, if he had to fight his way out of a situation.
Oh, I think he could. I think he could. I really do. Have you seen how big that man is?
Size doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think he could.
You know, I happen to be big and can fight, and that's a novelty. And the reason I'm big and can fight is I train to fight little guys because they're the problem.
Let me see your phone. Turn it on for me. Oh. Well, you can hack your shit.
You can hack my shit. I don't. My phone has no whatever on it. No
code, and I know your code, so
You knew my code.
it's still the same
When you say that.
thing. Cody's all.
But I mean, I watched Josh Gates since like Destination Truth and stuff like that. 'Cause
Yes.
he is hilarious.
He's
And I love the B-roll stuff they do on Expedition, on all the shows, really, when they're in town and doing goofy shit, walking around.
the best thing ever. Oh my god, I saw something on Destination Truth, and it reminded me when we were at Busch Gardens. They do this thing where they have a falcon flying back and forth between two Busch Gardens employees. They gave Josh Gates a big leather glove and some bait, and they said, pinch the bait in your hand and hold it like this. I'm gonna release the falcon. It's gonna fly away, and then you're gonna hold up the glove, and it'll come to you and eat the bait out of your hand. And Josh Gates is all pumped, and he's like, that sounds awesome, let's do that. And the guy goes, go, and he releases the falcon, and the falcon leaves. Like, doesn't fly off and come back, but just flies away. And Josh Gates is wheezing. He's laughing so hard, and he's like, do we have a backup falcon? Because this guy just released his falcon, and it didn't come back.
He does Taekwondo, actually, competition. Amber Alert, holy crap.
What do we got?
And I don't know if that took us off of Facebook, did it?
Yep.
Woodbridge, Virginia, check local media info. All right, we're back. We just got interrupted by an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
What are the details, sir?
I lost it. Nope, I don't got it.
Okay.
It's gone.
It was in Woodbridge, Virginia. We know that.
That's all. It was child abduction, Woodbridge, Virginia.
So if you're in that
You're
area,
hearing it live on Take Offense.
that's right. Yeah. So if you're in the area,
If
pay
you've got
attention.
you've got a cell phone. Your cell phone's ringing off too.
Yeah.
So
In the area, yeah, you're going off too. But
Woodbridge, Virginia's up by. DC.
but no, he does competition Taekwondo. Josh Gates does,
I know.
so he can fight.
Fight's a strong word. It's
All
Taekwondo.
right, here it is, guys. Sanahi Aguilar Cruz, female, 16 years old. Last seen in Woodbridge, Virginia. She was last seen wearing a white with purple stripe long sleeve shirt, denim pants, and
Well, she either got kidnapped or ran away with her boyfriend. One of the two. It could be either. But look out for her.
Yeah.
Purple striped shirt. Denim jeans.
But no. What were we talking about? Shit, Josh Gates. Yeah. No, actually, my favorite one. Well, it wasn't even really one of his expeditions. It was I can't remember where he was, but they were in some town square, and he gets a phone call, and he's like, "All right, guys, it's the wife. I got to take it." And I mean, they weren't in the middle of anything. They're just kind of walking around, and the guys kept filming, and he's like looking at him like, "Okay," and he answers the phone, and you see him go, "What? No." Oh. And then he just starts bawling. And he's like, "I'm going to be a dad."
That's awesome.
And I was like, that was cool as shit. Like, it happened that way, and they got it on film like that. It was pretty cool. And I mean, that's a guy I'd like to sit and have a beer with.
Totally.
He'd probably drink me under the fucking table because I've seen this guy drink on the show. Holy shit. He might drink Anthony Bourdain under the table.
He has to drink with Europeans. I don't know about that, dude. Anthony Bourdain may actually be an alcoholic.
No, he is.
Oh, he
Dude,
is.
you can look at him and go, yeah, that guy is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's got that look to him.
I think he gave up drinking and started doing jiu-jitsu.
Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah. I think he got rid of the... See, the thing about a lot of addicts is they don't ever break their addiction. They get addicted to something else.
Yeah.
And that's, I
That's
guess...
why you see a lot of people smoking outside of AA meetings.
Yeah. Well, that's... But ultimately, addiction, there's a couple of different kinds of addictions. There's genetic addictions. There's psychological addictions. There's certain things. And when I mean psychological, I don't mean it's in their head. I mean, the way their psychology has been conditioned is they become an addictive personality. And
Was that Elise Abadabadoo?
No.
Okay.
Hi, Elise.
Who's Elise?
Liz and I went to high school with her.
Oh, hi, Elise.
I don't think she's there anymore.
Okay.
Screw you, Elise.
But Liz probably got the notification because she's probably Facebook friends
Yeah.
with her.
Can you share the
Oh,
live event?
we lost 2 more.
Share the live feed again. You share the live feed again.
Yeah.
We might have lost 2 more because they probably got the Amber Alert.
Start dropping off.
But,
Amber Alerts.
Yeah, I totally. What were you just talking about? I wasn't paying attention to you.
I wasn't paying attention to you.
Okay.
What were you talking about?
I don't know.
You're talking about... Oh, we're talking about Anthony Bourdain being an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, like David
Switching.
Tell.
What's David Tell addicted to?
Remember David Tell?
Yeah, I told him.
He was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because he used to do the show where he would do a show that night and then go take you to all the bars in that town.
All night, yeah.
Yeah.
But he would do other things too. He actually went out when he was in New Orleans. He went out with the crew to shoot nutria in the canals.
Huh?
Okay. Do you know what a nutria is?
No.
Okay. Nutria is Princess Bride, rodents of unusual size.
Mm-hmm.
Those are real, except they're vegetarians in Louisiana. So they don't try to kill people, but they're giant 3-foot-plus rats that run around destroying vegetation. In Louisiana, you have canals, and the canals channel water into Lake Pontchartrain so that if the area floods, it goes into the canal and gets dumped out. So,
Good call. That worked well.
in Metairie, it did. Metairie got no flooding. It
Okay.
all went into the canals and got dumped out. In parts of New Orleans, they got fucked. So the nutria are in the canals, and they have a part of the police department that is the animal control. They have trucks that drive past the canals with suppressed .22 rifles and night vision scopes, and they shoot the nutria. And Dave Attell got to do that. They gave him a .22 and said, "You want to shoot nutria? Go ahead. Here's a drunk guy on the back of a truck in New Orleans.
Situation normal.
Shooting nutria."
Situation normal.
Oh my god! Oh,
That's how it's done.
Oh, absolutely. That's how you do it in New Orleans. You shoot nutria off the back of a truck.
Drunk.
The cops were probably drunk. Come on. You gotta have a couple of beers if you're gonna shoot nutria with a silenced rifle on the back of a truck.
Yes, the cops in New Orleans are drunk. That's why Pride and his team have to take care of everything in New Orleans.
Who's Pride?
Dwayne Pride.
Oh, the NCIS.
Special Agent Dwayne Pride.
Yeah, he's not from New Orleans though. He's from like Alabama or something.
No. Lucas Black, Chris is from... The guy who plays Chris is from Alabama.
Well, then why don't any of them have the right accent?
No, he's got an Alabama accent. Chris does.
Yeah, and he's fine.
Because he's from Alabama in real life.
But the guys who try to like do the pretend New Orleans accent,
Bakula? Bakula does good.
no, he doesn't.
It's really good.
No, he really doesn't. You can tell.
His accent's better than
Now there was a guy, Criminal Minds. They had episodes in New Orleans, and they had a little detective from New Orleans, and he had a good accent, really good. Like I wasn't even paying attention to the show, and all of a sudden, the wife clicks over to the show, and I hear this guy's accent, and I'm like, they're in New Orleans. Really, really good. I grew up in Bama, you can tell. Can you tell? Nah, not really. You're in Virginia now. Virginia is like the
That's where accents go to die.
They really do. in Eastern Virginia.
He's from Louisiana. I'm from Texas.
Yeah, the accents are gone. Now you can bring him back. I've heard his accent come back from time to time, and every now and then.
I don't piss Fluffy off.
I don't piss Fluffy off, but
That was it. You were like, "That's the most Texas I've ever heard you."
no, when you were talking about barbecue, that's when your accent comes back.
Well, because that's an emotional thing.
That's an emotional thing. It's
Oh yeah, see, Scott just said I heard my southern drawl comes out when emotional.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It was so funny. I was texting Cody. I was in San Antonio in a barbecue
It
joint.
wasn't funny at all.
I was describing the barbecue on my phone. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Texas and I'm describing what's on my plate. And he was pissed. I don't have it anymore because that was the old phone. But yeah. It was,
See, he 11. See, he didn't follow our public service announcement. He was being a massive dick.
a massive dick.
He really was.
Could have even satisfied Amanda.
Not my Amanda.
Big ol' the other Amanda. His Amanda's fine. She gets all the dick she wants. That's the thing. But the other Amanda, I don't know that she gets all the dick she wants. But hopefully, God willing. I don't think they're watching, but I think Blake and Amanda don't watch this show, but I think something's gonna happen.
No.
Oh yeah, I think Blake and Amanda spend a lot of time going back and forth in that tunnel. Love is in the air. Yeah,
I veto.
I
veto.
Let her have some dick.
I will call her parents.
Have fun.
I will call her parents. She still lives with her parents. I will call her parents.
I don't know who Blake lives with, but
Blake goes to the Citadel.
He does. And they were talking about something. They were doing something extremely homosexual in the tunnel. And
which is another reason why it's not going to happen.
No. She thinks it's funny.
Oh yeah,
and it was it was between Mel and Blake.
Funny because it's true. Yeah, there it is.
It was between Mel and Blake, and
they've been spending a lot of time together.
They
really have.
Mel,
when we closed Friday, they went to the bar together.
Jamel, his name is Jamel, and he's a 6'4" black guy. So, but the funny part is they were going back and forth, and I went, "Is this some game y'all play at the Citadel?" And Blake's like, "Damn."
Well, they just started letting women in, like 10 years ago.
There's not a lot of women in the Citadel. It's mostly dudes. Yeah, there's like 3 chicks in the whole place.
Yeah, because they didn't let them in for the longest time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a friend of mine who went to a school that was an all-girls school for a long time. And he actually got a scholarship, like first time in the history of forever, a white straight dude got a scholarship to a school for being a white straight dude. Well, I don't know about straight, but a white male.
No, that's not true.
A male got a scholarship for being a male.
You can get a minority scholarship as a white male to go to a historically black college, like Norfolk State.
Yeah, absolutely. And but he got one to go to an all-girls school, and he was like, it was amazing. You're talking about a class of 42 dudes. Epic. And he said, you got the one dude who just sits around and plays guitar, and you don't argue with that dude. He's gonna wear himself out eventually.
Until Bluto shows up and smashes the guitar all over the stairway.
If I could remember the song, I'd sing it.
Right?
It was so funny.
The only one that's popping in my head is the freaking Greg Brady one from the movie. The clowns never laughed before, raindrops never, or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't, but yeah, that was.
And then he tries to go to the record company and get a record deal for his song, and is the original Greg Brady was the record producer. He's like, this is terrible.
Oh my god!
I love it when they do that. Like they take some of these old shows and turn them into movies with new actors, and they bring the old actors in for it. I think he was the only one that made a cameo in that movie.
All the rest of them are in rehab.
Yeah. Watch The Good Doctor. Seriously, though. No, seriously, watch that show. I'm telling you. If you like Sherlock, House, and Doogie Howser.
I've told you I was never allowed to watch House, right? Laura wouldn't let me watch it.
Why?
Because the first episode, They were wrong about everything.
It was the pilot. Come on.
It was awful. And then they also made this one statement, and I almost wet myself. I was laughing so hard. The lady who's like the head of all the doctors said, and I quote, "We're doctors. When we guess, people die." And I almost pissed myself because diagnosis means multiple guesses or greatest guess. That's what it actually means, is to guess.
I just saved your life. Oh, that was a spider that was hanging right here in between us. He's such a bitch. He's such a bitch.
Okay, I'm better now. It's all better.
Dude, you probably saw it hanging here. You saw me go like that.
I could see it.
It was like that freaking big.
Oh, I thought it was some kind of
it was
flying
a
thing.
little teeny spider that was hanging from the ceiling.
Saved my life. All right. But anyway,
She still didn't like sliders.
Spiders.
Okay. No, he still doesn't like. He's a bitch.
Spiders.
He doesn't watch horror movies. He doesn't like spiders.
Spiders. Okay, let me give you my definition.
I was just
Spiders
stopping
are
it from
the
getting to my
devil.
donut.
Anything with more than 4 legs that is not seafood is unnatural, unholy, and deserves death.
I agree.
Donut of disapproval.
He said
Yeah, see,
arachnophobia.
that's the fancy term for it. I call it not wanting to die. Arachnophobia is all fancy and...
He's talking about the movie.
Oh, watching Arachnophobia? That's my answer to watching Arachnophobia. Here, have another one. Just to be sure.
You guys are bitches.
Done. Yeah, no. No watching Arachnophobia. Not gonna happen. Hell yeah! High five, babe. Or fist bump, babe. Yeah, whatever. High five. Fist bump. High five. Fist bump. Yes. Spider.
Oh, speaking of that,
Unnatural,
there's a show I listen to on ESPN Radio called the Dan Le Batard Show. And they come out of Miami. They're not your normal sports talk radio show.
Okay.
They go off sports topics all the time. They're goofy. They go off on shit. It's Dan Le Batard and the Stugotz. Yes, that's what they call him, Stugotz. You know what Stugotz is, right? It's kind of like Yiddish for penis.
Oh, okay.
But his real name is Jeff Wiener. So they call him Stugotz. Yeah.
Jeff Stugotz.
Yeah, so they call him Stugotz. But they're hilarious. It's a really fun show. I enjoy it. And they were talking about, or they have this guy comes on from the Miami Herald every Tuesday named Greg Cody. He's a sports writer from Miami Herald.
Okay.
And they love fucking with him. And he does a thing every Tuesday called, because he's an older guy, so it's called Back in My Day with Greg Cody.
Nice.
Where he does a topic every week about Back in My Day. And he was talking about handshakes. And he's like, whatever happened to just like, yeah, the normal stick your hand out, 3 pumps, and you're done. You know, he's like, now, you know, you don't know whether to come in with a fist bump or a handshake or, you know, yeah, exactly. It's hilarious how he did it. But that's what we didn't talk about. That's just running because the Dan Le Batard show reminded me of this. Miami Dolphins. Offensive line coach, Chris Foerster. Did you see this?
Allegedly snorting something.
It wasn't allegedly.
While
He was snorting a white powder, is how they've been saying it. Snorting a white powder on his office desk before meeting, filming it to send to a stripper in Vegas who he had fallen in love with. And not only that, he's sitting there doing this and he's like, yeah, I love it when we partied together and got high. According to her, she never smoked or she never snorted with, she never did coke with him. According to her, she was the platter. He would call her in to snort coke off of her.
And then he said something about the baby.
Yeah, he says, I know we won't be able to do this for a while because if you decide to keep the baby. Yeah.
Doesn't say whose baby.
Dude's married.
The baby.
Oh, no, she said it. She's like, yeah, we're going to make a pretty baby. Don't you think? Yeah. She's been all over the place. when they first were trying to get her in an interview, because she said she did this for social injustice. Just to prove something. She wanted to prove a point that if she put this video out there of him doing this, that he wouldn't get fired because he's white. Which is true.
Ah!
They allowed him to resign. She's like, if he'd have been a black coach, he'd have gotten fired on the spot. He wouldn't have had a chance to resign.
No.
I don't agree. But anyways,
I don't agree with that.
whatever. But that was her point in doing this. So,
Wow.
what's funny is...
She's a cunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not much better. He's married.
Okay.
He's cheating on his wife, and he's doing coke in his office before a meeting.
Okay, let's put it to you this
But
way.
would she have gone through the links that she did had she not had an opportunity to call out social injustice?
So she.
Yeah, she had planned on this. She said her friend had been planning to do this, to film him doing this, and then he sent her the video, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have to film him now."
So essentially, here's a dude, and he's doing some stuff that socially is considered inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's getting hurt. There's, I mean, it's.
I see what you're saying.
It's not. Although technically it's criminal, because he's snorting a powder, but they don't say what kind of powder.
It's coke.
They say,
I'm gonna say it's cocaine.
Sure.
What else do you
But there's a lot about this. Essentially, she just decided to wreck this dude's life.
Mm-hmm.
So she destroyed his life, his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
She got pregnant, so it's not
He
like
destroyed her life. Now she can't be a hooker. She's pregnant.
yeah. I got issues with that. I think that
Sorry, she calls herself a entertainer.
I think that there is a massive amount of hypocrisy there.
There is.
Massive.
And in my opinion, they're both in the wrong.
This isn't a sting. This isn't some cop, sting, and they're not like setting up a drug buy or something like that.
Yeah.
She's probably getting the coke for him.
No. She said she said he kept it in his desk drawer, and he would buy it because he was flying her out to where they were playing games.
Oh.
And he was buying it there.
Okay, but still, that's.
She says she's never done cocaine.
I find that hard to believe.
I do too, but at the same time,
If
her
you're-
job is to. And her Facebook page actually says professional tease.
Well, she did way more than tease if she's pregnant.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well, but she did care for him. I still care for Chris.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
It is. But anyways, yeah. So
now, I don't agree that he should get off scot free, but was he able to do his job? Was he able to be a good father / husband? There's a lot of fuckery there,
Well, and this
is where my libertarian part is.
They actually ended up. They were actually dating, according to this girl, because he told her he was divorced.
So, in other words, what happened is she found out he was married, and she decided she'd fix his ass.
Probably. Yeah. But to steal some stuff from Dan Le Batard show, some of the stuff they were talking about this, they did the 30 for 30 videos or films they do on ESPN. They it's like little documentaries they do on like one certain event in sports.
Sure.
The so
greatest field goals.
Yeah. So they did a document, or they did on the Dan Le Batard show. They did a fake trailer for the 30 for 30 on Chris Furster, and it's hilarious. It's stuff like I've heard that lie before.
I'm divorced. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was stuff like this is not the kind of snow I'm used to seeing the Dolphins struggle with. And he was using a dollar bill to snort it.
Oh my god!
So this is the most destruction to the Dolphins line I've seen done by a bill since Bruce Smith. It really seems like the Dolphins' offensive line is behind the 8 ball.
That's a good one.
All they need is just another bump. I mean, it was just constant stuff like that. So good. But I mean, you got this guy's judgment is fucked up because one, okay, and, you know, yeah, she's doing wrong too. But his judgment, think about this.
Wrong.
Think about this judgment. You're going to film yourself in your office snorting cocaine, and he said, "Hey, how about this? I'm doing this on my way to a meeting."
Maybe he was tired. He needed a little.
That was another joke they made. They say, you know how coaches say they'll run through a wall for their team. This guy actually ran through a wall to get there. Yeah. So yeah. Either way, fist bump, high five, fist bump. Actually, nice. Well, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. You know, is he a world-class piece of shit?
Yes.
Is she a world-class piece of shit? Yes.
Yeah, and but maybe even better.
Here's the stupid part. Now the dumbest part of all. All that money he had to support your skank ass and your little illegitimate kid. Bye-bye.
No, he'll get picked up. He's a really good offensive lineman.
Okay, so
But he'll get picked up somewhere.
You know what? The stipulation is going to be put him through drug rehab.
Yeah, that's where he's going.
counseling,
Yeah,
and-
he's going
he'll
through.
go through rehab, and now you're done. If you choose to keep the baby, which who knows, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but
CJ.
you're
Well,
not
so
getting
CJ.
any more money.
No.
So your skank ass needs a new sugar daddy, and you know what? You put your face out there.
No,
So
no.
now every other person's going, fuck that.
According to her, he never offered her any money, and she never asked for any money. She said it was never like that.
Dude,
and-
sugar daddy.
But, well, no,
He
no, but
paid
according to
for
her,
everything.
according to her, she doesn't need his money. She makes enough. She goes, "You don't realize how much money I make."
By scamming dudes, she probably, you know what she probably did is she
He's
probably
paying
tried to
someone.
blackmail her. She probably tried to blackmail him, and he was like, fuck it, who are they going to believe?
No, because he sent her this video 2 days before she posted it. So there was no blackmail involved. Well, no, he did. Actually, sorry. This is what he told her. She's got the text messages to prove it. And this is where he is a piece of shit in this, too. When he said, after he sent that video, I guess he came down and went, "Oh, shit. I sent her that video." And then sends her a text message saying, "Yeah, we got NFL security people who can take care of you if you post this out."
Yeah.
Basically, NFL Mafia.
I threatened you.
Yeah, he threatened the shit out of her. He basically threatened her with death. She said, "So I decided to put it out anyway because if I'm going to die, I'm going to die."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, actually, after that, I don't blame her for putting it out.
Yeah. That's kind of called self-defense.
Yeah. Yep.
But, oh, my God.
Yeah, he dude's a dick, and she's a bitch, and they deserve each other.
They really do.
Ashley said she's so glad y'all are talking about this. This is one story she missed.
Oh, okay.
And CJ says, I do cocaine.
No, you don't. He doesn't need cocaine.
I can't even get his bitch ass to smoke a joint.
I mean, Ash, well, he's kind of in the Coast Guard. Anyways, Ashley, yeah, you know, because Ashley's probably not watching much football right now because she's a Colts fan.
Where are they?
Indianapolis. She's in Indianapolis, or she's in Indiana anyway. I don't know where in Indiana, but that's all they have is the Colts and the Pacers.
Talk about back in my day. You say Colts, I still think Baltimore.
Of course you do.
Just pops into my head. Yeah, the Baltimore Colts.
What year was that? Oh yeah, before I was born.
Largest human being, second largest human being I've ever met. Defensive lineman for the Baltimore Colts.
Who?
Oh my God, I don't know his name. He was just this giant man, and I shook his hand, and I can't remember if I was a senior in high school or like my first year in college, and we met him somewhere, and I was like, oh my God, that's a giant man. And this is back in, 88. So,
Hey,
what?
somebody got offended.
Art Donovan?
Oh, yeah, she's all pissed because Cody's talking shit about her Colts.
Somebody's butt hurt.
Oh, I love my Colts. We blow right now.
Didn't realize the Colts were still a team. Well done, Scott. No, Scott, really? Who's your team, Scott?
Who's your team, Scott?
'Cause my Rams are doing pretty good right now. R2. That was that Ashley. She said, I am not. Alabama doesn't have a pro team, Scott.
He's not in a pro sport. I actually know people who don't watch pro football. They only watch college football.
My dad prefers college
Those
football.
people are wrong.
Yeah.
He'll watch NFL, but he prefers college football.
Well, you have a lot more games to watch. for
Well, your
goodness
dad
sake.
prefers college football because he's a Redskins fan.
Well,
No pro for me. Okay, Scott. Then you can't talk shit about pro teams.
Did he?
Yeah, he was talking shit. I didn't know the Colts were still a team or the Rams.
he can talk all the shit about all the teams. 'cause
No, he can't.
Yeah,
Yes, he can.
he can talk shit about all.
Not specifically. He can talk shit about the sport. But
No,
unless you're watching,
He likes the
used to
sport.
be a Bears fan and Steelers.
Steelers and Bears. The Bears.
Bears have sucked for a while.
Steelers.
Thick guy.
I actually used to be a Steelers fan because the Saints sucked so hard that we needed a team, and the Steelers were sort of black and gold. They're black and yellow, and it was close enough. And in the 70s, they won 4 Super Bowls, so I just gravitated to them. It was nice to actually support a team that could win.
The NFL isn't a shit show, Ashley. The Colts are.
But she said, but your Rams are doing good.
My Rams are doing good. That's why I can talk a bunch of shit. This is how this works.
We're talking
I
shit.
used to watch Bradshaw with my grandpa. I got a funny story about that one. I think I've
Yes.
told it on the when we were doing the just the audio. So I was in the Navy and we were in the Mediterranean Sea, and they decided to do Fox NFL Sunday from our flight deck, which was cool. It was back when it was James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Chris Collinsworth, and Howie Long, and so it was this big event. USO was putting it on. We had like bands playing in the hangar bay and comedians and stuff like that. CJ says the Raiders fan slowly walks away from the combo.
Just back out slowly, CJ. Nobody gets hurt.
Yep. We're up on the flight deck, and they're doing the whole show up there. It's pretty cool, the pregame, halftime, and all that. And, I'm a Rams fan, and 1980 Super Bowl was Terry Bradshaw versus, holy crap, Vince Ferragamo.
I saw the game. I don't remember who the Rams.
Yeah, it was Vince Ferragamo. So I'm in just this cluster of sailors. We're all up on the flight deck watching them do the show and stuff. They had the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders there and everything. It was pretty cool. So they would be on break and cut to commercial and stuff. And I'm in the middle of the crowd would yell, "Ferragamo was robbed." Bradshaw would trying to figure out who's got. I kept doing it to him. It was hilarious. Everett? Oh, Everett wasn't the quarterback until 90s. Actually, late 80s, I think, early 90s.
There is actually a story about a Steelers game in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers catch a ball with no seconds left, and you're not sure if it was a catch or not, and he gets into the end zone, and so he goes over to the thing and he goes, "We're going to review this, and or we're going to have a meeting." I don't even know if they had video review back when they did it. So we're going to have a meeting about this. So they all get in and they're clustered together, and they call over the head of security for this meeting. And all of the referees look at and the linesmen look at this head of security, and they go, "If we call this an incomplete pass, can you assure our safety?" And the guy goes, "No."
Probably because he was a Steelers fan.
Well, I don't know about that, but the guy went click, touchdown, end of game, and they all leave. They just got the hell out of there.
That's great.
So it was shit like that used to happen. Maybe still does.
Yeah. No, Everett. If you remember Jim Everett, he was on the Jim Rome show. Jim Everett. He was on the most, or he was. It was probably the most well-known Jim Rome show ever. Jim Rome was known as the King of Smack. He would just talk shit to anybody. His show is basically Jim Rome roasting people in sports and speaking in 5-syllable words. He was known for that. Phenomenal, outstanding. You know, just. But he had Jim Everett on his show, and he kept calling him Chris. You're not paying any attention to this.
I'm listening. Kept calling him Chris.
Chris,
Jim.
do you get that?
Chris Everett.
Chris
Lloyd.
Everett, the
Chris,
female tennis player.
Chris Everett Lloyd.
And yeah, and Jim Everett looked at him and go, yeah, I get it. You're funny. Yeah, stop. And then he kept doing it.
He probably didn't even realize he was doing it.
No, he knew he was doing it. It's Jim Rome, dude. That's what he's known for. He goes, yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you again, stop calling me Chris. Just, it's not funny anymore. You can stop. It was great the first time, but not again. Well, Chris, Jim Everett throws the table out of the way and just clocks him. Live on ESPN. We were videotaping it. Because we videotape anything that had the Rams on.
Stupid should be painful. It should be painful to be stupid and a dick. And if you're a dick and stupid, throws the table aside.
Threw the table aside and just clocks him.
I wonder what Jim Rome says about that.
What's great is the cameraman, as Rome is laying on the ground with this shocked look on his face, the cameraman zooms in on him. It was great. Yeah, because anytime a Ram was in an interview or something, we'd pop a tape in and record it. When Jim Everett was on 1st and 10. Remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
I have it. I have the DVD set.
Really?
Yes. First and 10
was awesome.
It was a goofy football show.
On HBO.
Yep.
So, there were boobies.
Yep. Good to have memories of Rams accomplishments when they had a team. They have a great team right now. They have a really good young team, dude. They're saying Rams are going to be good for the next decade.
That's super handy.
They're one of the youngest teams in the league. They got a killer running back. They got a quarterback that's coming into his own. And they have a coach who can be there for the next 20 years because dude's only 31 years old.
That's amazing.
And he's killing it. He's an offensive genius. And he's an offensive genius, so, he comes in as an offensive coach. So what does he do? First thing he did as a head coach in the NFL, hired Wade Phillips as his defensive coordinator.
Smart. Smart.
Just look up the stats, Scott. Look up the stats. The Rams are the highest scoring team in the league right now. Average. They're averaging like 35 points a game.
Dude, if we had a defense and an offensive line, we'd be doing well.
Give who your number, Ashley?
Give him my number.
Just takes a broken leg in a season and back to the next. You should know. Napoleon Kaufman. Sorry. He's a Raiders fan.
Oh.
Do you remember the Napoleon Kaufman hit?
Yeah.
The knee going the other way?
Was it like
yeah.
It was like the dude, shit, what's his name?
Sid Vicious.
The 31-year-old coach. Sid Vicious, yeah. Oh, you're thinking Theismann. Joe Theismann, yep. No. Joe Theismann was back in the pocket and got hit. Napoleon Kaufman was moving forward. He was running. He's a running back.
So he planted his leg and the guy just folded it back.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. Just kidding. He's not old enough for me.
It's okay. He's got enough money that makes up for age.
Actually, I think he's married. No, he's not married because they're saying he's the most eligible bachelor in the NFL. He's a good-looking dude, too. He's not just, a genius coach. He's like, the guys on ESPN Radio are like, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. It makes me sick. But I love having him on my team. He's a really smart guy. He's really good.
A little bit of eye candy,
Works
What,
out.
dude? That's what happens when you move the team to LA.
That never hurts.
You gotta have that in LA, man. You gotta look good.
Dude, I live in
I'm
California.
back on. Give him my number. Yeah, look him up, Sean McVay. Look him up, Ashley. You'll definitely want his one. You want me to give you his number? You're looking him up, aren't you? No, but I mean, he's great in interviews, and he very to the point. And look, this is what we're doing. This, things will happen, and hold please. Think they'll stay put for more than 4 years? Yeah, I do. The new stadium's gonna be done next year. And they're spending a few billion on that stadium. It looks gorgeous from the designs I've seen. What? That was a frustrated sigh.
Meh.
Yeah, that's him.
That's his wife.
No, it's not. He's not married.
It's Sean McVay's wife.
Oh, is it? He is married?
Oh no, it's a bunch of different girls.
Oh, yeah. He's not married. He's cute as a button. That's what Ashley said. The Raiders will enjoy it in a few years. No, they won't. The Raiders are going to Vegas next year. The Raiders are moving to Vegas next year. So, LA's already got two teams. They got the Rams and the Chargers.
His girlfriend is Veronica Combe.
And the girl who is vying for his love is Betty. Boom. Nobody got that?
Oh, she's a Ukrainian. Damn.
That's where the emails came from. Anyways, I know they'll be back. No, I don't know, man. Vegas is jumping on some sports now, man. Some pro sports teams. They got a hockey team now in Vegas.
Yes, the Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights, yeah. And the Raiders are going there next year. So, yeah, it should be...
The Raiders are going to Las Vegas?
Yeah, the Raiders will be in Las Vegas next year.
Right.
Well, no. Think about this, though. This is how they're getting genius with this. This is how you start making sports betting legal throughout the country. Yeah. Then they have... No need, ladies. I'm right here. Does Daddy like it rough? What was that? Oh, WWE McMahon football there. Did they have WWE? I don't know. I think Vegas did have a XFL team. XFL, for those of you who don't know, was a short-lived football league.
One season?
I think it was two. It did produce some players who came to the NFL. Because these were guys who just didn't make it into the NFL, mostly. They had WWE-like rules. I mean, we're talking... It was owned by Vince McMahon. But there was no fair catch on a punt. And what that means is you're getting lit the fuck up as soon as you catch that ball. A fair catch in football means, you wave your hand, and it means, hey, I'm going to catch the ball right here, and I'll be down right where I catch the ball, so don't fucking hit me. Because you got guys running full speed at you. If you think you can catch the ball and you got time to run, you're not going to call a fair catch. But if you're like, these guys are going to bust the shit out of me, I need to call a fair catch. XFL didn't have that. You had guys getting destroyed. As soon as the ball touches their hand, they're getting lit up, and that ball flies, and it's a live ball. Because if you miss a punt, if you drop a punt, or you don't, it's a live ball. Or if you you have to touch it.
If you don't touch it,
you have to touch it. If they touch it and you didn't, if the kicking team touches it, it's down right there. If they touch it first, and it's your ball. But if you touch it, it's a live ball. So if you get hit as soon as that ball touches your hand and that ball flies, it's live.
That is not down.
They had some killer rules in that. I mean, I think you get CTE by watching XFL. It was brutal. It was like playing. If you guys remember NFL Blitz, the video game. I mean, where you were like suplexing bitches. You could do it in the game though. I don't know if you remember that game. Yeah, there was a game, NFL Blitz. and you could. I mean, it was. I played it on arcade a bunch. I think it was on one of the Nintendos. But yeah, you could suplex guys. I mean, you were doing all these kind of brutal flying.
Oh, I do remember
hits.
that. That's when you had like 4 controllers at one big machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
I don't remember suplexing anybody, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't.
Maybe on the Nintendo it got a little more violent because the arcade version
this
wasn't
way,
violent enough.
NFL Blitz got so violent that NFL finally was like, yeah, take NFL off there and just create your own teams for the game because we're not going to be part of it anymore. So they created a Blitz game where they started bringing in retired players and putting them in the game because they couldn't use NFL players anymore. So you had like, Bruce Smith on the cover and stuff like that, and they would like create teams for them, but yeah, it was
Dick Butkus.
Yeah. The thing about XFL too is they could put nicknames on the backs of their jerseys. It wasn't just their name; they could put whatever they wanted. So you had guys like He Hate Me and stuff like that were running around. Actually, he became a he went to the league. I can't remember his real name, but he went to the NFL. Jesse Hester, who played for the Cowboys, was in XFL for a little bit. But yeah, no, that was a little much. I mean, you're asking for guys to get hurt in that. It's one thing to just football's a violent sport.
Deshaun.
Huh?
Rod Deshaun.
Rod Smart.
Rod Smart.
Rod Smart. Yep, Rod Smart.
Rod Smart.
Was He Hate Me? Yep. But yeah, it's one thing to play football the way it should be, the way it's played by the rules. And
he became an Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, and a Panther, and a Raider, and a Tennessee player.
Yeah, he jumped around a bunch. But
since we're in the NFL, why don't we touch on that Colin Kaepernick now wanting to stand if somebody's going to pay him?
Well, I think everybody's going to end up standing. There's supposed to be NFL meetings this week about with the players or the owners and the Players Association. Because right now, if you look at it the way it is, and it's been talked about a lot now with this kneeling situation, the message is lost now. The message that Kaepernick was trying to put across and that those who came after him were trying to put across is gone. Nobody is even paying attention to the message that they were trying to put out there. They weren't trying to disrespect the flag. They weren't trying to disrespect the national anthem. They were having a silent protest, which is fine with me. Violent protest is where I have the problem.
Well, here's the other thing, and I can't find it right now. They had a list of things, people trying to do something in the NFL, like stickers and colored cleats and things like that the NFL would not allow them to do. And there was a pretty long list. And it was the NFL does not permit people to do this, 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 and this.
They have to protect the shield.
And, yes. By the way, the NFL is a shield.
Yeah, the logo is a
shield. The logo is a shield.
That's
what
protect the
you're
shield.
talking about. But yeah, they and I can't find it. I'm looking for it. But it's a list of things that...
You're not allowed to have certain things on your uniform. There's certain, and it makes sense because once you start letting people put things on their uniform, then they're going to start selling advertising for their uniform.
There's apparently a lot of really, really important rules that say you can't do this, you can't do that, and people get fined a lot. And so, but yeah, the message used to be
social injustice.
Black people are getting jacked up. We want to bring our attention to that, and it's just.
Well, I know what a lot of the owners are doing, and this is cool with this because a lot of it was a police protest. The owners and the teams have been joining up with the police departments, their local police departments, and doing charity work with the police. And trying to bring everybody together because that's what we need to do in all of this. It's about bringing everyone together, not separating everyone. So, but yeah, the message is lost. So why even kneel anymore? Because now you're just doing it
just
to annoy people.
Now you're being a dick. Just to be a dick. It
really is. And I mean, there's no point in it anymore. And the Cowboys did it to where even Jerry Jones came out there with them. And what they did was, and Jerry Jones went out there with them. They kneeled. And when the anthem started, they stood as a team and locked arms. So they did the kneeling to show this is what we're against. You know, this is our silent protest. But then we stand together as a team. And then Jerry Jones came out this week and said none of my players will kneel during the anthem or they will not play. Yeah. But then it came, and people were like, you can't do that to them.
Yeah, it's his team.
Exactly. But not just that. Well, no, they're calling social injustice on that. But then it came out that...
social
injustice. Hold on, man. Hold on. It came out, one of the players came out and said, yeah, Jerry came to us in the locker room and said, look, I have no problem being the bad guy here. I'm trying to take the focus off of you.
There you go.
I still don't like Jerry Jones. But anyways, he's a walking leather bag. But anyways, but no, it was, you know, he takes care of his guys. He really does. Except for Jimmy Johnson. But anyways,
who's the demon on the hayride?
There's two.
Which demon?
I don't know. There's two reviews on Haunted Club Farm that the demon in the hayride made tonight.
There is
Travis.
Travis was
Patrick.
Jumping. No.
Travis, Patrick, and Nate.
Now Nate kicked open a door. I think he has his chainsaw. Does he have a chainsaw, or he's just... Okay, so he was in the finale. The demon was in the finale. But they might be talking about Travis because he was jumping and he had a demon head on.
Yeah, they just both referred to the demon on the hayride.
Yeah, it's probably one of those two.
Yep.
Definitely best year yet. The demon on the hayride was my favorite part. And then the demon on the hayride made my night. Will definitely be back again this year.
Cool.
Now, the sad part is Friday the 13th got rained out.
Yeah.
Do you know the actual origin of Friday the 13th as bad luck?
Yes.
It's
Hold on.
Victorian folklore.
No. It was actually this year because the original Friday the 13th was on October 13th.
1307.
Yeah.
It was...
No. 06.
07.
It's 311 years. No. It's 311 year anniversary. Oh, so it was the so it's the 700 year anniversary. I saw it differently.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 700th anniversary of the original Friday the 13th.
710.
Yep.
So
yeah, no,
this
yeah,
is
10. 710.
Oh.
This is how Friday the 13th got started.
Mhm.
You had these people called Templars, and the way Templars did things is they created the first idea of banks. So you would give your bag of gold, because that's how shit worked back in the day, to the Templars, and they would write out a receipt. So you could travel with no gold, just a receipt tucked into your sleeve. And when you got to the Holy Land, because everybody did pilgrimages to the Holy Land, they had another group of Templars, and you'd give them their receipt, and they would take their gold and give it back to you. And so then you'd have your gold, or you could, get withdrawals from them. You didn't have to carry a big bag of money. Well, the Templars got really powerful because a shit ton of people gave them gold. And you also gave them offerings, and they would protect people, and they would do all kinds of stuff. I don't know if they took a fee. I'm not sure how it worked, but they were a holy order. They got immensely powerful and actually started loaning money to the various kings.
Did you say they were the protectors of the Holy Grail?
Absolutely.
They were the protectors of the Holy Grail.
They were the protectors of the Holy Grail.
Yes.
They
because they weren't Catholic. And the Catholic Church saw it as...
No, they were Catholic.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
No,
everybody was Catholic back then, dude. Everybody. There was the church and there were pagans. That was how it worked. It wasn't until later that there was any differentiation between... Now, you had different orders. You had Jesuits, Franciscans, Benedictines, and then you had Crusaders. I think they had Knights Templars. I think they also had Knights Hospitallers, which I'm not really sure what the differentiation there is. But they would started loaning money to the thing. So they started gaining political influence as well as financial. And they were freaking rich. And part of the story is that they found the Grail and that they were its protectors. King Philip decided he didn't want to owe the Templars money anymore. So what he did is he met with the Holy Father and he said, listen, these people are so powerful, they're going to take over the church. I need your authority to handle these people. And the Holy Father went, hell yeah, here's a papal writ, you handle it. We only have 15% battery left on this phone, so
we're getting close to the time anyway.
So we're almost done. So King Philip called up his army, rounded up the Templars, and said, y'all are heretics, and proceeded to start burning them at the stake.
Well, those are the ones there. They also had, they sent out letters to where all the other Templars were set up, all their other strongholds.
Run for it.
And no. They sent out letters to their people in those areas where the Templars were, and it was a joint thing. We are going to kill the Templars at this time on this day.
Yeah. So
everybody do it at the same time.
All the Templars essentially got jacked up.
Yep.
On Friday the 13th, 1307. So
October 13th.
October 13th, 1307. Yep. So that's why Friday the 13th is considered bad luck, because essentially a king went, you know what? I don't feel like owing you people money. I'm just going to kill y'all. And so, kind of horrible. But that is the origin. And then there was a lot of torture. They essentially tortured the head of the group into saying, yeah, you're right, we're evil. Yeah. And they did it in nasty medieval ways. So, but Friday the 13th, have fun.
Tell us, Tom Pablo. Tell us.
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us about Satan.
That was the...
Satan's a wonderful character.
It was kind of like Torquemada with the Inquisition.
Yep.
You know, people get wrapped up in God.
You,
and they
cake or death.
Yeah, no. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. All right, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So,
yep.
We'll see you guys next week, and love you.
Peace out. Much love. Bye-bye. And...
Beats itself, Cody, just saying.
Because he wants to burn me at the